me, it's one of the most amazing things I've seen, let alone filmed.
Okay, here it comes.
I think it's some of the most complicated behaviour and one of the best sort of dramas between two creatures battling against each other. I'm lucky enough to have been to Antarctica several times before. I remember being totally blown away by the scale of it, and I didn't really realise how mountainous and how impressive the landscapes were down there. You're going along the shoreline with massive mountains that come straight out of the sea. It's just the sheer scale of it, and the seascapes and the colours, it's like nothing else on Earth. Type Bs are the coolest killer whales. They're the mammal hunting killer whales that hunt among the pack ice in Antarctica. They're just such incredibly impressive animals. I'd seen the Type Bs hunting amongst the sea ice, and it is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Their preferred prey is the Weddell seals, which are quite slow, bigger, fatter, and quite easy for the orca to catch. But I noticed when they were hunting the Weddell seals that there was also crab-eater seals on the ice, and they tended to avoid those because the crab-eaters were like junkyard dogs. They were super aggressive. They'd go for the killer whales, they'd try and bite them in the face. And they wouldn't think twice about jumping in the water and then jumping out again. Without the killer whales being able to catch them. So when we had the chance to go back for Oceans, I'd love the idea of telling that same story of killer whales and seals, but from the perspective of a crab-eater seal. You basically sail around each day checking bays and trying to find likely areas that the killer whales will hunt in. And that is determined by where there is sea ice. So we were desperately searching every single bay down the peninsula to try and find any sea ice, and really struggled. We spent days and days not being able to find any ice. The first seal we found, two seals, were together. It was a crab-eater and a Weddell seal on the same piece of ice. And the killer whales were making their way towards them and then proceeded to hunt them almost immediately. So it was incredibly lucky. Unlucky for the Weddell seal. The whole drama played out right in front of us.
Okay, wave, wave, wave from the left.
It went on for so long.
Okay, here it comes. From the right.
Far right side of berg.
The upper hand kept flipping between the two, and sometimes it seemed like they had the crabby caught, and then the crabby would get into a bigger piece of ice and then just go again.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Just like a boxing match going between the two, just endlessly. It was just such an amazing battle. It just went on for hours. And by the end, you could tell they were both sides were exhausted. The whales were super tired, and the waves they were making were just getting smaller and smaller until the end. Both sides seemed to sort of give up. For me, it's one of the most amazing things I've seen, let alone filmed.
Hey, what just happened, mate?
Oh my God, that was the most amazing wildlife experience I've ever seen.
I think it's some of the most complicated behaviour and one of the best sort of dramas between two creatures battling against each other and genuinely, you know, played out as it is on screen. I was really chuffed that the seal made it by the end. I mean, I've seen it firsthand, the change down there from 10 years ago. There was huge amounts of sea ice, and you know, it looked like it does in all the movies. Endless sea ice. And just, you know, everything in what seemed to be in balance. And then going down this time, no sea ice. The sea states are totally different. The weather patterns have all changed. It's pretty scary to go down there and sort of see the impact of climate change in a place like that that was previously pristine and just a beautiful icy wilderness. It's the most graphic, clear-cut influence of the impact of climate change that I've seen anywhere in the world. The days of seeing that sort of behaviour and seeing those creatures in that environment may be dwindling, and might not be something people get to see in the future.